For Rocket Summer 2026, I read Captain Future and the Space Emperor by Edmond Hamilton. My name is Brett, and this is The Beast Reads. Rocket Summer is a booktube event created by Michael K. Vaughan, dedicated to reading classic science fiction, counting everything from the start of science fiction, whenever you say that was, up to about 1965. This seemed perfect for me since I started reading classic science fiction about 1965, before they were called classic, back when they were just called books. I looked through my collection for something old and I found Captain Future and the Space Emperor by Edmond Hamilton, copyright 1939. This is the first Captain Future novel, and in it he is already established as a champion of justice across the solar system. Captain Future is the superhero persona of Curtis Newton. His scientist parents were killed by a supervillain when he was a small child. Newton was raised on the moon in a secret hideout by a trio of companions. Simon Wright, the disembodied living brain in a box of a super genius scientist, Greg, a giant robot, and Otho, a synthetic android. Curtis Newton grows up to be a scientist, a brilliant inventor, and a super athlete, the perfect qualifications to fight crime and injustice as Captain Future, the greatest adventurer in solar system history, the mysterious awesome figure whose legend dominated the 9 worlds. The book opens as the president of the Solar Coalition, James Carthew, learns about strange cases of atavism breaking out on Jupiter. The human colonists are devolving into ape-like furious brutes. The atavism plague is blamed on a mysterious character called the Space Emperor. President Carthew sets off the bat signal to summon Captain Future from his bat cave on the moon. I hear you asking, wait, human colonists on Jupiter? Yes, in Hamilton's solar system, all 9 planets are livable for humans and have native flora and fauna. And yes, I said 9 planets, because in these stories, and in my head, Pluto is a planet. But you say humans will be crushed by Jupiter's gravity? Hamilton solves that with personal gravity equalizers. The president asks Captain Future for help, and he flies off to Jupiter in his private spaceship, the Comet, with Simon, Greg, and Otho. When they get to Jupiter, they see cases of atavism at its worst, and meet several characters who could be the Space Emperor. They follow the clues to a mining town out in the jungle, cleverly called Jungletown. Jungletown seems like a place where I'd be right at home. Quoting from the book, this was a typical planetary boomtown, such as sprang up wherever a great new strike was made, be it on some desert Mars or mountainous Uranus or Arctic Pluto. To these boomtowns thronged adventurous Earthmen from all over the system, prospectors and gamblers, merchants and criminals, engineers and drug peddlers, dreamers and knaves and fools. I would have been one of those fools. When we first meet the Space Emperor, he's in a black armored suit with a breathing mask and a voice that didn't sound human, echoing hollowly from inside his armor. Later in the story, I thought I was reading an Andre Norton book when Captain Future and the Space Emperor end up in a cave with ancient alien artifacts and an underground lava river. For a minute, I wondered if the Space Emperor was going to fall into the lava. That, my friends, is a Darth Vader reference. As Captain Future follows the clues and gets into and out of trouble in movie serial cliffhanger fashion, he is helped by his companions, his proton gun, and the gadgets he carries in his utility belt. It is stocked with everything an action hero could need, from lockpicks to grappling hooks. Captain Future and his team figure out who the Space Emperor is and thwart his plans and reverse cases of atavism, and the solar system is safe until the next time the call goes out for Captain Future. I really enjoyed Captain Future and the Space Emperor. It was a fun, exciting read, and I could see how it influenced many authors and even TV and movie show creators. I want to thank Michael K. Vaughan for coming up with the idea for Rocket Summer and prompting me to read Captain Future. If you enjoyed this trip back to 1940, back when the solar system had 9 planets, give the video a like. It don't cost nothing. And remember, Styx is the greatest American rock band. I could have done that better. But it's the end of the thing and nobody will be listening. I really enjoyed Captain Future and the Space Emperor.